Hi, it's Connie Erickson with another Fairly Live at 5. And two members last week asked me to do a live on what happens when love fails. And I didn't exactly understand what they meant. And when I asked, they both actually said the same thing, that they love so strongly and it's not reciprocated and it's painful and they don't know what to do. So I was hesitant to broach this subject because I feel like, well, that's not really what this group is about. But then I thought about it, and the reality is that not all the relationships in this group will last. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you work on yourself or improve your communication, sometimes one partner just doesn't want to be in it. And First off, if you're in that position, my heart goes out to you. I've been there. I've had relationships that I wanted to work out so badly. I've had some that just that I thought were really good, and I thought, oh, if only he could see how right this is. I even, most of you know from previous lives, I had an 18-year marriage that ended because my husband left me for someone I thought was my close friend. And I've even had like a couple first and second dates with guys that just weren't that into me. And it really hurts. There are few worse feelings than being in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to be in it. And I'm going to tell you the same thing my mother told me in seventh grade when I was pining away for Frankie Sundermeyer. Connie, you can't make someone like you. And it's a really hard lesson to learn. But it was true then, and it still holds true. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do. You have to let them go and start again and feel that horrible, gut wrenching pain of rejection and keep moving forward. I'm just going to rewind for a minute because there's a few things to think about before that point. But if you're in that position, you might want to just ask your partner straight up, what's your intention? Does this relationship have a shot at all? And I would tend to believe their answer, whether it's in words or actions or both. And if they're telling you they want out, then you have a choice about what you want to do. If your partner's telling you they don't love you anymore or they want out, you can choose to hold on for some amount of time. And I think that can be okay because maybe you think they'll come around, or maybe you're married or have children and you don't want to give up too soon. It's hard to know what to do. So here are my two rules of thumb about that. The first is that you need to do what you're going to be proud of, what you're going to be able to live with in 5 years. That's important. Will you be satisfied with your behavior when you look back? Many, probably most people want to feel like they did everything they could. I know I did. I probably hung in there too long with my marriage, but I was married 18 years. I made a commitment. I had two kids. I would have done almost anything to save my marriage. And I'm glad I hung in there, even though it didn't work out, because I would have regretted not doing everything I could. Um, but the second rule of thumb is make sure you don't love the other person more than you love your self respect. It's not a healthy relationship if you have to lose yourself in order to save it. It's just not. And that's really important to remember when you're in that position. So if your relationship is ending, here's what I want you to remember. One, two things. One, that any skills you learn in order to improve your relationship are transferable. You will be glad you did it. Any improvement you make, any bit that you work on yourself, improvement that you make to yourself or your communication skills will serve you well in the future, in this relationship or in the next. Your future self and your future partner will thank you. I guarantee it. And the second is when you're in the right relationship, your partner will want you, respect you, and love you as much as you want them. You won't be desperate for their love. You won't have to earn it. You will be valued for exactly who you are. I hope that helps. See you next week.